We are attaching all of our Bombay evidence, the good and the bad being Manan's photo with Raju. So if you have any
And
such
also
videos,
the very
photos.
like the part that you'll hate the most is I'm smiling too much in that picture
Yeah.
because I'm genuinely so happy. Like you can see the happiness dripping from my face. Like
Yeah, yeah.
look at
As
how
soon as he
happy he
got
was.
the photo, he came to me and then he called his sister in front of me. Bro, तुझे के साथ फोटो है मेरे पास और जय के पास नहीं है. हाँ हाँ ठीक है bro. Everyone knows. You can chill out now. So that happened.
Fabulous, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if you want to hear more stories, if you like our dance videos, then let us know because we have a lot more stories that have led to similar dance videos, and we can make another
Yeah.
podcast in that as well. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pillowtalk Podcast. And staying true to our promise, we are not 2 months late, we're just 3 weeks or 4 weeks later. I'm assuming that's when we'll be done by the edit with the edit. And so now, since we have a very
I
vague intro
think no,
planned,
one second, one
yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, one second. I have an intro planned, and this is a
All
very
right, go
very
on, go
interesting
on.
question, and a question that is very pertinent to my life right now. Cap or no cap?
You're pulling the cap off better than the person whose cap it is, so I think you should go for it.
Yeah. Go to hell, Rajveer. You're not getting this back. But no, I liked it better when I had longer hair. But now, thanks to my mother and my sister, they forced me to get a haircut. So here I am with my short hair, looking like a boy from class 10th. Anyway, irrespective, a little bit of let's give the people a little bit of more context. So
How much context?
I'll take you back to 12th. I'll take you back to 12th. So after after our board exams, after everything had ended, we got our results, we got our admissions. So at that time, both Jay and I, we got admitted to Bhagat Singh in DU, which was a reasonable choice at that time. And we had both we had both accepted our fate that okay, this is our life for the next
Next
three
three
years.
years.
But even though, but while that was true for me, it wasn't true for Jay because he decided to drop out after 1 year.
I
he
decided to
wanted to
drop
do
out in
better
the
things in
first
his
month,
life.
but I decided to leave after a year.
Yeah, so props to Jay. He's 1/3 of a graduate from DU, and so yeah. So now go now explain your story, Jay. Go on.
Yeah, so like Manan said, we had to a certain extent resorted to our fate that this is what we're going to be doing. But then something, I don't know why and what happened, but I just figured that nahi chalega. So I started applying to other universities without telling anyone. I eventually told my parents. I'm genuinely grateful to them for being as supportive as they were for all the confusion that followed after
Bro.
that. But
Yeah.
then after, so we spent 1 year at Bhagat Singh, and after that, I decided to transfer to Narsi, which I was honestly speaking, I was quite excited about that, but it didn't turn out. That didn't turn out the way I wanted it to either. So then I switched to another college, and I don't want any hate for
Spoilers,
this.
bro.
Okay,
Spoilers.
yeah, I switched another college.
Yeah.
But what happened in my 1 week in Bombay is what we're going to be talking about right now. And most importantly,
Yeah.
we are going to be talking about how Manan's appearance in Bombay for just 2 or 3 days has had a major impact in my life right now.
So I think while we were discussing the idea for this podcast also, it came out of nowhere. Like it came out of thin air when Jay said, "Why don't we talk about this?" And I said, "I think we have the perfect title for it also about how meeting Manan changed my life." And then Jay said, "Bro,
Hmm.
like even though it's a joke, but
That's
that's exactly what happened in Bombay."
that's facts,
Yeah.
man.
So that's what we're gonna talk. Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about today. And okay, so let's give some. I'll give you context from my side. So when like my first year was about yeah, my first year had just completed in Bhagat Singh, and there's this society or thing like there's a society concept where you become a part of student societies in DU. And I'm talking as if a lot of people are listening to us and they don't know what DU is, but
They
basically
are. They are.
University of Delhi. University of Delhi,
Hmm.
they have a lot of student run societies, and I was a part of one of them called Enactus. And Enactus has this national competition every year, which is basically the best 24 teams from India out of about 120. So I'm flexing that we were in the top 24. So we were in the top 24 that year, and we had to go to Bombay for that competition. And I think 2 weeks, right, 2 weeks before that, Jay had taken admission into Narsi, which reminds me of another story. uh, Jay had taken admission into Narsi, and he had gone,
Hmm.
and he had packed his bags and everything. Now, I'll tell you about my last day when Jay was leaving, like the last day he was in Delhi. So I completed my college classes and everything, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Jay's house and say bye to him. Jay's house is 5 minutes from my college, so I went to Jay's house. We sat, we chatted for a while, and then normally, like whenever I'm at Jay's house, I'd leave. I gave him a hug, and I was about to leave, and he said, "Bro, ruk ja, we'll walk, or I'll drive you to the place." I said, "Cool, okay." So Jay was dropping me off to the metro station, and again, very normalistic. Like it was a very normal bye. Like it didn't hit me that Jay's leaving or something, and I did okay. It's cool, bro. I'll see you later. This that, and I went back, like I sat in the metro and I was listening to music. The most unbelievable thing happened. The most unbelievable thing happened that while I was listening to music, my music was on shuffle, and the song that came was "Tera Yaar Hu Main" from Sonu ki Titu ki Sweetie, whatever, right? And at that time I was just like, oh bhai, Jay is going. मैं क्या करने वाला हूँ दिल्ली में मेरे पास कोई और दोस्त नहीं है and stuff like that, and I went into a spiral, and I was just like, okay bro, जय ही तो है, क्या हो गया, आ जाएगा यार, it's not like my girlfriend leaving me or something. So anyway, that happened, and I remember at that time there was a lot of internship stress also going on. So I was in a very, like, very weird phase, and I remember I called Jay one day. Was this when you were in Delhi, or was this when you were in
Yeah,
Bombay,
yeah. No, no. This is
when I
last
gave
day
you a
in
video
Delhi. This
call?
is this is last day in Delhi.
Yeah, this is last day. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is last day in Delhi. So I went to my mom and I said कि मम्मा मेरे को बहुत बुरा लग रहा है that Jay is leaving, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Jay is like one of two friends that I have in Delhi right now, and I don't know how I'll spend the rest 2 years of my college and everything. And then I got really emotional and I started crying in front of mama. And she's looking at me, she's like, what has happened, Mana? Just relax. And she's giving me all those tips. She's like, doesn't matter if Jay is leaving right now, it means someone else will come into your life and stuff like that. So I said, ha. And then I came to my room. I came to my room. I said, I have to talk to Jay. I gave him a video call. And as soon as he picked up, I started crying. And now, for the first time ever, I'm on video call and I'm crying and I don't even know what I'm speaking. And I'm like, "Jai Bachcha, bro, Bachcha, Bachcha." And then, anyways, I don't know what conversation we had that day. And then I hung up. And I hung up, and I genuinely, I think either I've blocked that memory out of my brain about what happened that day, or I just genuinely don't remember what I said. So anyway, that happened. And yeah, coming back to the whole Bombay story. So yeah, so we had that competition in Bombay in on 15th July, right? Or 15th August. August,
July,
no?
July, July, July.
July. Yeah.
Narcissism
So
starts
Jay
in
had
July.
gone to yeah, so Jay had gone to Narsi a week ago, and then everything was okay. And I told him, yeah, bro, I'm coming, we'll chill. He said, yeah, we'll chill.
Uh, 15th, yeah, sometime around that timeline only. So I was attending classes, and classes were fun because for the first 2 3 days, my parents were also in Bombay, so we had good accommodation. Like we were chilling, going out for dinner, blah blah blah. So classes didn't seem like that big a deal. At least the post class time didn't seem like a big deal. So, like, whatever few friends I made there, it was fun, with them at least when we were in class. But it was just the 3 4 hours, and then I had to go back home as in wherever I was staying, which
The
wasn't,
accommodation. Yeah.
yeah, which wasn't at least because of my expectations. I think so. It didn't meet my expectations, so I was obviously butthurt about that also. So then Manan and another friend of ours, Arman, was supposed to come, but he decided to ditch us. So Manan was supposed to come to Bombay, and as soon as my classes got over, I called him कि क्या सीन है. तो मैंने बोला कि bro बस अभी हम we are just going to the hostel और तू आ जा शाम को. I said fine, शाम को आ जाते हैं
And
फिर.
and for context, okay, context. We were staying in Bandra, and
I
Jay was
was
in
in
what's that place called?
Ville Parle, I think. Yeah,
Ville
yeah,
Parle.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
quite and everything in Bombay is far away
It's
from
not
each other.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
these
not
two
close.
things were extremely far away. But I said कि
Yeah,
कोई scene ही नहीं
or
है, मैं कब
extremely
आ रहा
far for
हूँ.
us because, extremely far
Yeah,
for us because we were not used to the Bombay traffic also.
yeah.
So anyway, I said ki yeah, you come. He said yeah, I'll come. Then Jay came and we were talking, and this was one day before the competition. Or so I was generally very stressed also because I had to perform the next day in the presentation. So I was generally very stressed, and I told him, "Ki bro, presentation is fine, na everything." He said, "Yeah, yeah, don't worry, bro. It's nice. Go for it." That day, though, it was fine.
Nothing happened. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
an
nothing
uneventful
major
day.
happened. Yeah, and an uneventful day, and like we chilled till like 12 a.m. and then we all slept, and we had to wake up the next day at around 4:35 to get ready for the competition and everything. So after the and we'd all already planned that once the competition is over, then it's party time in Bombay because we were staying there for another 3 days, if I'm not wrong. We were staying there for another 3 days. So once that happened, competition was over, great fun, everything's over. uh, Congratulations and everything, you did well, didn't win at that time, but but yeah, so we were very proud of our performance and everything irrespective. Jay calls me up again. He said, bro, what's your plan? I said, bro, today party at the hostel, so you come, we'll all party, everyone's in a great mood, everyone's very excited. So you come, we'll party. He said, "Ki chal, theek hai, I'll come." Now again, he doesn't stay close to us, but Jay like, I'll come. Jay, why is Jay so like? Doesn't he have anything else to do? And anyway,
But
Jay
also
came
one
that night,
thing, I'll
and
tell you a little
yeah,
bit more context. So when we are in Delhi, there's always this debate about whether we are chilling in Delhi or Gurgaon because the
yeah,
other one has to commute, right? However, that was never an issue in Bombay.
yeah,
I will
yeah,
commute. You don't worry, मैं आ रहा हूँ.
yeah,
तू रह जहाँ
yeah,
पे है
yeah.
तू.
So yeah, so Jay came, and all of us we'd gone to get some substance for us, some alcohol, and so
Substance.
we had we had our drinks and everything, and it was a pretty eventful day. Eventful night, and we danced a lot, we partied a lot, and there are videos of us dancing after having a lot of drinks, which once we had those drinks and everything, we somehow called Raj, right? We called him and we did like miss you bro and stuff like that, if you remember.
I don't remember the I do remember things, so I don't but I don't remember the
So,
call.
so I remember this call. We called up Raj, who's another friend of ours. We called up Raj and we said, "Bro, miss you, bro. Wish you were in Bombay at this point and everything." We had a conversation with him and we hung up.
Hmm.
Anyway, the next thing, then Jay had to leave because he had classes the next day. So I dropped him off to the cab and like, good night, bye. Okay. Next day, next next day, I called up Jay. I said, "Bro, what's up? What's happening?" He said, "Nothing. I'm free. College is over. Should I come?" I said, I said, "Yeah, bro, come. We'll chill again." And this was evening, right? This was around 7 or 8, and this is when Jay and I started talking about what's happening and what is wrong with you. Why are you commuting every day to Bandra? And yeah, go ahead, Jay. Now this is your place to tell. So what was happening at that
No,
time?
so before we discussed whether or not I'm coming, Manan calls me up and he says, Bhai, Jay, you okay? I said, yeah, bro, I'm fine. What happened? He said, did you puke? I said, no. Why? What happened? He said, so Manan was staying in the hostel with around 10, 11 other people from the inactive stage,
Yeah,
right? So I asked him,
yeah.
Ki, no, I didn't puke. Why are you asking me this? He said, bro, all 10 people here have puked. So, bro, all 10 people didn't even drink. He said, bro, two people have puked only because of a placebo. So I said, it's
No,
very
bro, one other
interesting.
person had stomach poisoning or something from the pav bhaji that we had. So another scene was going on, bro. So
Yeah.
that was too complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
go on.
all that happened. I came to Bandra at some 50-60 kilometers away from where I was staying. So we were talking.
That's like an
So,
exaggeration.
so one had asked me how's college and everything. So I told him the classes are fine, people are fine, but after classes and after college, there's hardly anything to do. And I do feel
Hmm.
that I was slightly at fault there because what it just been 3-4 days since I had been in Bombay. But again, like I'm telling you, I had very high expectations. I was being too restless with everything.
Hmm.
So then Manan pacified me, ki bro, nahi, nahi, give it a little bit of time. It'll be fine. And it's a nice college and XYZ. And at that time, I didn't want to hear any of that BS. Okay. So I just said, ha, theek hai. And then I continued thinking whatever I was thinking. So that day
Hmm.
also, we went to some cafes here and there. And then obviously, that was the time when it was raining in Bombay. Okay. So Bombay rains
Yeah.
suck. Bombay sucks. If anyone tries to tell you otherwise, then please consult me and I will tell you what the reality of that
Don't
city
ever go
is.
to Bombay in July,
Yeah,
please.
and Bombay sucks, okay? Especially the rain. It sucks. There are too many people and there's too little space in Bombay to do anything. Anyway, we were
Yeah.
roaming around. It was raining. I was annoyed because I don't like the rain. And then that day ended and we went back. I went
No,
back home.
no, wait. No, 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 wait. I think what happened that was it the same night when I think we'd come back from all the cafes and everything, and that's when you and I went for the walk outside our hostel. Is that the same night or is it the next night?
We went for a walk. I remember
So
going
I'll
out
tell you,
with.
so
Go
that's
on, go
so
on.
I'll tell you this is what I remember, and this is what exactly happened. Also, I don't know which night it was, but one
Hmm.
of the nights. So I think we had a small conversation about house college and everything, and he said, "Yeah, everything's fine, whatever. I'm feeling ऐसे thoda." And I told him, "कि bro, relax, कुछ नहीं होता." This was the auto ride while we were going to the cafe,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
when we came back, then we started talking. Then it was night time, and then we started emoting, and then Jay started talking, and then we went on a random walk across Bandra. So we were walking, and then Jay started saying that, bro, even though college and all is fine, classes and all are okay, people are fine, but the place that I'm staying at, it's not great, and I can't tell you, उसमें construction हो रहा है, and there's paint smell everywhere, and the food is not great and stuff like that. And I said ki bro, don't get so stressed, matlab if you want, we'll change the accommodation, kya ho gaya? He said, I don't know bro, I'm really not liking Bombay, and it's just not as good as
It's a
Delhi. And I said,
fucking
that's
rain,
facts.
man.
That's
Rain
facts.
sucks.
Nothing as good as Delhi.
Hmm.
But then I remember verbatim what I said to you, and Jay sounded really sad at that point. And I said ki bro, everything is fine, but if you get sad or you get ऐसे low and depressed, then I hope you
Oh yeah,
don't
I
turn to
remember. I
drugs,
remember.
bro. And I said, bro, this is the pathway of people to drugs. And I said, I can't see that happening to you. So if you're stressed और बहुत स्ट्रेस हो रहा है तो तू छोड़ दे ये सब, इट्स नॉट वर्थ इट.
ड्रग्स मत करियो.
एंड
छोड़
हाँ,
करियो.
मेरे को ड्रग्स मत करियो, ये सब नहीं चलेगा.
Hmm.
तू तू वापस चल ले, लेकिन तू ड्रग्स मत करियो.
Hmm.
And Jay was just like, yeah, we'll see. And that is the night when we actually started, like, he started telling me ki, why I'm not liking Bombay and stuff like that. And he had a weird situation with the roommates also, as far as I remember.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so they were weird people. So if you're listening to us, please tell us. But
I'll send the
anyway,
link to them, especially this
so yeah,
time.
so what happened after that?
Yeah,
Yeah, what
so
happened after that?
now this is the last day, okay? Now I know that Manan's leaving. I'm not supposed to leave. Manan doesn't know that I'm leaving, but and the airport was closer to where I was staying, right? So this time Manan said,
Yeah.
"कि ठीक है bro, I'll come to where you're staying and then we'll go वहाँ से साथ में airport तक." तो मैंने कहा ठीक है. Now, by that time, I had already, so because I was feeling everything, blah, 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 I had spoken to my parents about it also, and they said, ki, theek hai, just call. So I had gotten acceptance from another university, but I turned that down earlier for Narsi. So Papa said that fine, you call them, ask them if it's possible, and if it is, then you come back. So Papa had given me the green light, but I kept thinking ki, matlab, I don't want to put my parents through all of this again as well. But I'd still, what I'd
Yeah.
done was that before Manan reached, I'd packed my bags already. Okay. So Manan came inside my room and he saw two packed suitcases. He said, "Ye kya hai?" So I said, bro, मैं चलूँ क्या साथ दिल्ली? So he
No,
बोला
no, no, wait,
कि
wait, wait. I'll tell you what the conversation was. I'll tell you what the conversation was. I entered the accommodation that Jay was staying, and I looked at the interiors. And I entered into Jay's room. I said, and I looked at Jay's interiors, and there was one bed where Jay was staying, and the bed that was next to Jay's bed was just a bed frame.
yeah.
Just a bed frame. The house was under renovation. There was paint smell everywhere. There was food packed in, I say, plastic and everything, which was kept on the table. And that's what Jay was mad about also. He said, bro, earlier when I used to be in Delhi, anytime I would want to have a meal, there would be someone with me at home to have
Yeah.
a meal with.
Yeah.
And now when I come back to my place and I just see a lowly uh, thali sitting in
Dabba.
front of
A
me, and
dabba.
yeah, a dabba
Yeah.
that I just have to eat all on my own, and I'm not used to it and stuff like that. And I said, bro, and I looked at his interiors and I said, chal, chal, we're not staying here.
Yeah.
Let's leave. And
Mhm.
he said, Sach bata, should I come with you? I said, yeah, bro, just come back to Delhi. This is not a place you're gonna stay at.
Yeah.
And
So
then we looked for flights. Yeah, go on.
we saw flights are
Go on, go on.
available. I called Papa. He
Yeah.
said, I said, ki Manan is coming back. I'm also coming back. So obviously he was mad at me. In all fairness to him, he should have been mad at me only. But he said, ki, theek hai, I'm booking your flight. You come. I said, fine. So now the accommodation had other hostel students too, right? So now
Yeah.
Manan's leaving and I'm leaving. I'm leaving with two suitcases. Manan's leaving with two suitcases. They come to me and they ask me, ki, where are you going? I said, bro, just going to Delhi for 2 days. I'll be back on Monday. So I said, okay. So for the next entire week, I got messages from them, ki, bro, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And I kept telling them, ki, हाँ, अभी आ रहा हूँ, अभी कल आ रहा हूँ, परसों आ रहा हूँ. And then I just stopped replying. But the worst thing that happened to me in Bombay actually happened at the airport, and it happened because of Manan. So because I booked the flight later,
Wait,
we were in
wait, wait,
different
wait, wait, wait,
airlines.
wait. Yeah, one addition that I want to add. So our flight was around 8:50. Okay? My flight was 9 p.m. Jay's flight was 8:50 p.m. or something
Yeah,
like that. And we had left Jay's accommodation at 6 o'clock.
in
It was
Bombay, in
raining.
Bombay.
It it was raining. Our auto was stuck. It was underwater. Our bags were underwater. And no one had reached on time. I was calling my other teammates. I was like, where have you guys reached? And they said, bro, we are 1 hour away. I said, bro, our flight is in 1 hour. What are you doing? And then we got a message that the flight has been delayed and everything. So I said, okay, thank God. I don't want to miss a flight. But anyway, now we've reached the airport. Go on, Jay. This is
Yeah,
this is
so
the if you ever want to feel betrayal, this is Jay's
this
monologue
is
for
what
you.
it is. Yeah, and we'll attach all evidence for this also. Since we were obviously in different airlines, we had different check-in counters, right? So we entered. Manan went to his counter. I went to my counter. Everything happened. I had a little trouble because my luggage was overweight. Blah blah blah. Got that sorted. Manan got his luggage sorted, and it was like a normal check-in, right, to any flight. So now you guys need to know that Manan and I were huge fans of Roadies and Splitsula, and this is not us being sarcastic. Okay, we
Yeah.
religiously follow the episodes, the contestants, and what they're doing. So
Every year, year after year.
every year, yeah. So now Manan, I am at my check-in counter, and Manan is coming to my counter in a he's running to my counter. So running क्या हो गया? He comes to me and he says, Jay, एक चीज दिखाऊं? हाँ है, दिखा दिखा. And then he shows me a picture with Ranvijay. So this asshole, he could have called me from his counter, कि Jay, Ranvijay is here, आजा. No, he got a picture. He ran to my counter to tell me that he got a picture with Ranvijay. And now Ranvijay is gone.
इन्होंने वक्त बदल दिया जज्बात बदल दिए जिंदगी बदल दी एक
So now we are walking to the
And
gate.
Ranvijay is sharing his flight with us.
Yeah,
He's in my
Ranvijay is
flight.
sharing a flight with Manan. So now we run कि I tell him कि मेरे को भी फोटो चाहिए मैं ऐसे गेट पे पकड़ूंगा जहाँ से ये बोर्ड कर रहा होगा. We go, and every other person who's wearing a snapback or slightly baggy clothes, I'm saying pura, but we had lost him. And
Yeah, because
that,
he was in the business class lounge,
yeah,
not
and
economy.
regardless of every single thing that happened to me in Bombay, the rain, the accommodation, Everything, the commute to Bandra every day. If I have to jot down the worst things that happened to me, what tops the list is the fact that Manan couldn't call me and tell me that he had met Ranuji. I will continue to be butthurt about this for the rest of my life.
You can stay butthurt, but you don't have a picture with Ranvijay.
Yeah, man, I don't. I'll put a Photoshop one at the end of this one. So that is my picture.
But yeah, now when we had decided that we want to do this podcast, I made three serious questions that I want to ask Jay. And
Yes,
this
go
I
on.
haven't told him before the podcast. I just told him that I have three questions. So the first question is, Jay, would you choose the life you would have had in Bombay, or would you prefer the life that you have presently in Delhi?
To be fair, I don't know what life I would have had in Bombay, right? But
Yeah,
given the
yeah,
life that I do have right now, I'm very, very happy with where I am, what I'm studying, what I'm doing. So I think all in all, it was a good
yeah,
decision. जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है.
yeah. Fuck
So
Bombay.
fuck. Don't ever go to Bombay, guys. Bombay sucks. It is the absolute worst. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
glad Manan motivated me to take that jump and
Like, chal bro, यहाँ कोई नहीं रह सकता ऐसे accommodation में. You come. Bro, if you ever want to be a bad influence, I'll teach you how to be a bad influence. You
yeah.
come.
Don't do
देख
drugs,
लेंगे बाद में.
but you come back to Delhi
But
as bad as it
drop out of
gets.
another college.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do drugs, but drop out of the second college you've gotten into. Okay, so second question, and this you might have to think for a bit. What was the exact moment you knew you had to leave Bombay?
Hmm. What was the exact moment I knew I had to leave Bombay? Oh, this is quite funny. So, my dad travels a lot for work, right? And he was supposed to come to Bombay one day after Manan and gang had left, was supposed to leave. So, like I told you guys, that I was speaking to him ki the other university is saying ki theek hai, you come and we'll consider your admission again. So I called Papa and I was talking to him. So again, like I cannot stress this enough. Like my parents have been extremely, extremely supportive through the entire thing. If it was my kids, then I don't think I would have been this supportive. But I was talking to them and I said कि I told Papa कि ऐसे हो रहा है, this is the situation and it's just not something that I can see myself doing for the next 3 years. Plus, it was extremely expensive to live there, right? Even though the accommodation
Yeah.
wasn't up to my expectations, everything in Bombay is extremely, extremely expensive. So that was also another factor which I, tell myself was playing in my head. But yeah, it was obviously there. So I told him ki aise aise ho raha hai, and Papa just said one thing ki if you're finding it difficult at all, then you just come. And as soon as I had kept the phone, I was walking inside, and what he'd said kept playing in my head. And I think this is one day after Manan and I had the discussion about what's happening. So as soon as Papa said ki if you can't do it, then you come back. So that is when I knew that fine, this is not something that I need to do. This is
Hmm.
not something that I have to do. And if I need
It's
to,
not
then I
worth
can
the
go back.
stress.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
that is when
it's not
I
worth the
just
stress.
decided that I could leave.
Okay, so my last question is, spending those whatever 3, 4, 5, 6 days in Bombay,
1 week,
while
7 days, 7 days.
I assume that a lot of your time was spent by yourself, like you were there by yourself, and
Hmm.
when you're not with me, obviously. But so when you were with, like, on your own, did you have any epiphany or a thought or anything that you specifically did that you still have in mind to this date, or you still do it, Abibi?
So there wasn't actually a lot of alone time that I spent in Bombay. So there was just one day where I had nothing to do in the evening because before that my family was there and after that you guys were there. So it was just one day in between. But like you said about the fact, so that the accommodation that I was at, what they used to do was that
Yeah.
they used to take your orders in the morning and they used to ask you ki what you want for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then whatever you opt for would be delivered to your door, right?
Yeah.
And a major issue for me was that, so I'm not someone who would, be very interactive while eating dinner. But if I just know that fine, there are people sitting around me, or there is someone that I can talk to while having dinner, then it just puts me at ease, right? Which was something which was very evidently missing there, because the place I
Hmm.
was staying at was also not, like, there were not a lot of students. It was just me and one other student. So even after I switched colleges, even after, I've come back home, what I try to do is, regardless of whether or not I am alone, if so, when we are in college right now, when we are in hostel, right, and one of my roommates says that I'm going to get dinner, and he says if he's late or something, and he's been in class and he has to go eat alone, and he tells me that I'm going to have dinner. So, and I can understand that fine, he might be alone, then I just get up and I go with him to just sit down there, not even talk. Both of us are on our phones. He's eating, I'm also eating my second or third dinner, but I'm just sitting there with him, because, and that's not even for him, right? It's still for me, because
Yeah.
what I went through, I don't want someone else to go through the same things. And if I can help it, then I'll do whatever I can, because it's really not that big a deal. So I
Yeah.
think that
Which
is
rem-
one major takeaway.
which reminds me that when, let's say, when I'm having a late dinner and my family is sleeping and everything, I call up Jay and we're just on video call and we're talking, and while I'm eating my dinner and I just like कि बात करते हैं bro, मैं अकेला नहीं खाना चाहता खाना. So Jay is a very good sport with that. Yeah, now that I think of it, yes, you do that. And so I call him up and he's like, yeah, you eat bro, we'll talk. I said, chalo, that's great. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was one of the biggest factors that was A, stressing you out at that time, and B, that led you to leave Bombay
yeah,
also,
100%,
because
100%.
the thought of having 2 meals a day or maybe 3 meals a day alone in your own room with just Netflix on, I think it's too difficult for anyone
Even
who's
though I can do
especially
it
had.
yeah, even though I can do it at my house, right? If I'm having dinner,
Yeah,
mama, papa are in there sitting somewhere else, and I'm sitting in my room and watching Netflix, I can do it at home because I know that they're there. Over there, the
yeah,
possibility of someone coming was negative. So that just freaked me out.
yeah. So that's how I changed Jay's life, everyone.
And to conclude the podcast, even though I've said this multiple times already, I'll say it again. Don't go to Bombay, kids. Bombay sucks. There is absolutely nothing to do there. Come to Delhi.
But if you go to Bombay, you might get a picture with Ranvijay.
I mean, the one who spent slightly longer there could get it, but yeah, it's worth a try.
Yes.
So, if you guys have any travel stories or friends who've changed your life by being bad influences, let us know, that have led to similar dance videos, and we can make another
Yeah.
podcast in that as well. So, hopefully, the next time we won't take even 3 weeks, it'll be 2 or 1.5, but we'll be there and we'll see you in our next episode. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.